welcome into episode 37 of JD's Empire Sports Talk. A lot going on, so the more content will keep coming out, and we may have pretty much a big update coming soon in regards to the show. We're going to look to expand, maybe have different hosts, more of a traditional show where we talk strictly like every week, and plus additional episodes on the side, but more so like a regular show, maybe 2, 3 hours specific day of the week or whatever it is going into the summer. And of course, at the end of the summer when football starts and all the good stuff that comes with that. But for today, we'll talk about the Mets, who are playing really good baseball, of course, 21-11. Lately, the past 7 games, they're at 3-4. They haven't played too great over the last week, but I think it's just that they were bound to cool down a little bit, and they very easily could have won all of those games, though. So I wouldn't be overly concerned at all. I know last week against the Nationals, they split with them. It spilled over into Monday, but the weekend into Monday, they went 2-2 against them. They should have swept that series very easily. They gave away 2 leads in the ninth inning that Diaz wasn't available for. Ryan Stanek's been struggling a little bit, and those were both on him, those losses. And then against Arizona now, this last series they played that they just wrapped up, they lost 2 out of 3. Both losses, though, they were close. Last night, 4-3. Bounce here, bounce there, could have went a different way. As we know, baseball is a game of inches, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Just got to go out the next game and just try to see if they can go your way. And the last 2 games, though, because obviously the Mets won the first game. The last 2 games against Arizona had like I don't know, a little bit of a playoff feel. Pitching moves getting made at certain times. I think Mendoza actually got outmanaged in those 2 games. I know we left Chris Davinsky in there last night for 2 innings, which I didn't really understand. Reed Garrett could have pitched last night. He hasn't pitched since Saturday. And then they put him in today and try to get him through 2 innings, and that didn't work either. So I feel there was a few questionable moves, and Mendoza got a little outmanaged. You got to admit that, but it's not the end of the world. They were still up by 3 games in first place, a very competitive division, so they can't really afford to give away games. But I have no cause for concern. The bullpen, though, I am a little worried about, not for the numbers of what they're doing right now, more so of the injuries that are piling up a little bit. Minter got hurt over the weekend. He had a sling on the other day, and he has a lat issue as well. He's probably going to be out for the season, or if not for the entire season, he won't be back for a long time. And Danny Young went on the IL as well, so they got both of their lefties just taken out in the past few days due to injury. And Danny Young looks like he's having might have to get Tommy John. Right now it said a sprained elbow, but that's one of those things that they said can get worse if he doesn't really rest it. So that's a problem. So both of their lefties, they're guys they counted on. Minter obviously more so, but Danny Young had a role on this team. Both of those guys are out now, and for a significant amount of time. I know last week they signed Brooks Raley back, but he's not going to be available till probably another month or maybe 2 months from now. They have to figure it out as much as they can. And the one thing I kept stressing over the weeks that this was like leading into the season and stuff like that, of when who was going to be sent down when Daniel Nunez was back. I mentioned Danny Young, and not because he's bad. It's just that they don't need 2 lefties when they have some righties on this team that are able to get out lefties, like Reed Garrett, like I said, Budo, Nunez, of course, a few others. All those guys have the capability of getting out a lefty. But now that you have no lefties, that's a problem. I know Genesis Cabrera pitched. He didn't do great. He didn't really look good either. I know some things happened that could have changed the inning a little bit, but he didn't look great. He'll probably be sent down soon. And they've been shuffling now those last 2 spots in the bullpen because they're also trying to find who they can use as a sixth starter because they want to cater to Senga, which I mean, Senga's great. So any way to make him comfortable and be able to go out there and pitch a gem every time, and that's if that's pitching once a week, that's what you're gonna have to do. But the thing is, Senga only went 4 innings. So he's had over like a week off and he can't get through 5 innings at least. That's a problem because now you set the bullpen back a little bit and now you have to go into a new series hoping that you can recover because they don't really have any days off until next week. I think next Thursday, about a week from now, is their next day off. So that could be a problem if the starters aren't going to go deep. But it hasn't been an issue. I would like to get them in a little more deeper. It looks like Clay Holmes is finally comfortable getting into the 6th inning and hopefully getting through it. David Peterson has been always consistent. Senga's been great. It was just I'm just not complaining about it. It's just that today's start could have went a little. This last game start could have went a little differently if he went deeper into the game. I mean, the Diamondbacks worked him pretty good, and he had unfortunately had to come out. But there's a few different things that the bullpen is trying to mix and match. Mendoza's trying to do that, making roster moves. I think the last 4 days they're switching guys in and out. Especially when you're trying to find the sixth starter, it's you got to make sure you have someone available. Like you used them yesterday, say that next day you got to get someone up that can go back down. So all AAA pitchers, they're on notice right now, and I know they're trying not to. They're trying to avoid bringing up Sproat because he's not fully ready to go yet. Like he's healthy, but not like comfortable in a big league game, and they don't want to ruin his development, which I don't blame them for. But also, like, you have a glaring hole at a certain spot. Why not just bring him up? Because he's going to consistently get starts in that sixth spot, probably for a good month until Manayo or Montas comes back, whoever's back first. And that doesn't seem like it's coming that quickly. But moving into the lineup is good now. It's whole. I think I don't really think they need to make a major move. The only thing I would say is center field is kind of a hole. Either when McNeil's out there because of defense, or then when Taylor's out there because his bat's not great. I know he had a great game the other night, but it hasn't been consistent at all. Jose Siri, like we talked about, is out. I am really hoping that Drew Gilbert. I know he's still in that rehab type phase, but he's been killing it in AAA and all the other minor league levels that he had to get before getting back to AAA for rehab. He's been killing it. Defensively, you always know he's going to bring, but the bat has been there, so it shows that last year he wasn't healthy. But I really hope that he can come up soon and give this team a nice spark because it's another lefty bat. Like I said, you know what you're going to get in center field. He's going to track down everything, which isn't the problem with Taylor. It's just that now you have that opportunity of getting another bat in the lineup. You bat him eighth or ninth. I mean, there's no pressure on the kid. He's playing with all those different talented players. He's like, oh, all right, I'm a part of this, and I think we can do well. And Taylor obviously will still get his time, but I think that his time should get a little more limited. And right now they're trying. That's why they have McNeil playing center field as much as possible because they want to see what he can bring in the outfield. And I mean, nothing. He hasn't been tested yet, which is thankful. Thankfully, that's the case because I don't believe in him playing center field, consistent like a consistent basis. And if you're in the playoffs, you can't do that every game. The playoffs are a different beast, and we saw that last year. So hopefully Gilbert's up by then, but the lineup is whole in terms of bats. Deep lineup. McNeil was batting eighth, I think seventh the last 2 days, and he's been all right. 6 for 19 since coming off the IL. His swing has looked good. He has not looked bad at all. Alvarez hit a homer, but it seems like it's taken him a little more time to get going. And this is a make or break year for Alvarez. I mean, he needs to step up and show that he's worth being the starting catcher on this team. Because I know Terens is great in the sense of being a backup, and he does his job when he's in the game and everything like that. But we really need Alvarez to continue to show his development because he could very easily be replaced. You see, Stearns doesn't have that patience. He's a great guy, but he doesn't have the patience to sit there and watch poor play. And Alvarez is great defensively. The bat just needs to be more consistent. But both have shown flashes, like I said, on in terms of just playing great. And I'm excited about this team. I know it kind of seems like I'm like down in the dumps about them because the way the last two games went, but I'm not concerned. I just think there's a few things that it's like you got to tape up a boat. Maybe it has a little hole in it. You got to fix that along the way. And this is one of those teams that you could tell they're definitely special. The bounces for the most part are all going their way. It seems like they like each other. The vibes in the dugout are outstanding. So I'm sure in the locker room it's even better. They don't always show their true colors in the dugout because they know people are watching. But I'm sure in the locker room it's even better. Soto now hit 2 home runs in the last game, both to left center. So I think he's really. I'm convinced this time he's starting to get locked in. I'm wearing his jersey to give him some support. That was huge. Those 2 home runs. I know they didn't win and they were solo homers, but I think for him that was big because Lindor's been hitting. Alonso's been hitting. Soto, they really need him to get going and have a great month, and that was a great start to May. And then Vientos looks like he's turning the page a little bit. Nimmo had a great game, but then got sick, so a little bit of a setback. The other day, he had all those 9 RBIs or whatever it was. He was great. Now, I hopefully that the sickness didn't hurt him a little bit. Winker looks like he's swinging the stick a little better. Still not where he's supposed to be. Marte hit or miss. I know he had a few good games, but he doesn't play consistently that much anymore. So it's hard, I think, for him to be in a rhythm just because of what he's had to deal with. Uh, who else am I missing here? Taylor, like I said, Azokar has been pretty good surprise since he came up and filled in the outfield when he has to. So this team is a lot to like, and I think now hitting May, they have to take advantage of the schedule a little bit in the beginning because middle to the end is going to be rough. They got the Dodgers, the Cubs, Yankees. Red Sox. Those are four teams right now that are playing great baseball, and they got to be ready for that. And with that being said, they're hitting the road for the next 6 games against the Diamondbacks next week. Cardinals first on the weekend. They got three against them in St. Louis, who they've beat pretty handedly in at City Field. And then for the Diamondbacks, are in Arizona, of course, and they played all right against them. They very easily could have swept them. I think they'll get their payback on them as well. So next week, a little two late starts. St. Louis a little later start than usual, but I think they'll be okay, and they'll have a good hopefully a good road trip. 4-2, you got to expect 4-2, so you come back and you're at 25 wins, which would be outstanding. Once that schedule starts to get a little tougher, and I think they'll do it. 13-3 at home though. They were 13-1 up until the last 2 games. 13-3 is great at home, but a road record 500. I mean, that's not the worst thing though, because if you're playing great at home, you can afford to be a 500 team. So it's not that bad to think about being 8-8 on the road right now. But they can definitely play better. They just need to step that up a little bit. And like I said, they need to get the starters deeper into games. I want to keep this episode a little quick. I don't want to repeat myself. Um, since we know what they're doing. Just need the starters to get deeper. The bats are, I think, going to keep going. I think as the months pass by and it gets warmer, the bats are going to get even more hot. Hopefully, like I said, for Soto, he can get that going because that top three is probably one of the best in baseball because they're all performing. Lindor has just been outstanding on both sides of the ball. Uh, Nothing really, no complaints. I just wanted to reassure that it's okay. Like they're going to lose games, and they're not losing. They 3 games they lost at home are by 2 runs or less, so they're right in there. They face two really good pitchers as well against Arizona. Burns and Zach Gallen are Cy Young candidates, so that's something you would see in a playoff series, and they saw it here late April, early May. So there's nothing really that you can do about that. And they worked those guys. It's not like they dominated. They didn't get dominated. They had guys on base that didn't score. They should have tried to take advantage of that Arizona bullpen a little more. They weren't able to. So there's nothing really you can do about that. Um, but before we wrap this one up, I just kind of want to give the rundown of what's going to happen, at least for the end of this week into next week. After the first round's over in the NBA playoffs, it should be. I think it's Saturday, Sunday, maybe the latest. I think it might be Sunday. We'll give a little recap of our brackets and what they look like. So, who won in the first round? I know I had the Lakers winning and they didn't win. So, I think my other teams are pretty good so far. So, I mean, hopefully for our sake, we do well with that. Definitely have building off of that. Hopefully the Knicks can close this one out, and we will have an episode about them right away just to recap the first round and what can happen in the second round. And I have a lot to say about the Knicks, honestly. They're getting me very nervous, and I think there's a lot of room to grow. And this should not be the time for room to grow. I got to say that. So I'm not saying it in a positive way. They gotta figure this out. And if they win this series, they better lock in because they will be swept in 4 games. Not even a gentleman's sweep of 5. They will be swept in 4 games if they don't figure it out. So that needs to be figured out. So we'll have a Knicks episode coming up next week. CT will be back next Thursday. They'll be back to talk Knicks, Mets, and Yankees. Jets will definitely be a little bit of a break because there's nothing really going on for football right now. St. John's keeps racking up the transfers. I think they brought in their 8th at this point. They're doing a great job. Looks like a team that could be fighting for the Final Four before the end of the season, which is great to say. I mean, I've never seen them go that far, so I'm really hoping that's the case. But with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Just the full episodes on YouTube. Just get those views up for us. Always liking the Instagram and the TikToks. It's very, very great to get some interaction back and forth. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I know there's a few people that have told me certain things when I had, especially in that mock draft, the most recent thing. I was like, yeah, I think this guy's gonna go there, and someone was like, no, I really hope he doesn't. I mean, that's just what I thought that it would happen. And I like the feedback. But with that being said, episode 37 is officially over.